Another crazy fact relating to how the legal system works in motor vehicle accident or car accident claims is that when you get injured in an accident, most people think that they have an automatic claim for pain and suffering. Well, not so fast. Not in Ontario. In Ontario, the law actually says that the starting point is that you have no claim for pain and suffering, and that the only time that you can get compensated for your pain and suffering is if your injuries meet a certain threshold, a legal threshold. And that threshold is defined as a permanent serious impairment of an important bodily function or a permanent and serious disfigurement. Now, what does that mean in real life? It means that you have to have an injury that is so serious that it affects your ability to work or it affects your ability to do most of your activities of daily living. But then it goes further. It also has to be permanent, which has been legally defined as lasting or an impairment that lasts for an indefinite period of time. So what that means in real life is if you get run over by a drunk driver and you break your leg and you don't need surgery and you get better, meaning that you have no more impairment from the broken bone because bones heal in 6 to 8 or 10 weeks, you're not entitled to any amount of money or compensation for your pain and suffering. Now, to make it even worse, assuming you have an injury that meets what the law says, that statutory threshold of a permanent serious impairment or a permanent serious disfigurement, the law then steps in again after you've met that threshold. You then get kicked in the rear end with the statutory deductible, which is where you, the victim, have to pay a $44,000 statutory deductible, which, by the way, it increases each year on the 1st of January of each subsequent year. So as your case goes on, if your case takes 2 or 3 years, the deductible that applied on the day of the year that you were affected, within 3 or 4 years, it'll be substantially more, provided inflation goes up. So those are the crazy facts. That's another crazy fact that applies to car accident victim cases. And that threshold also affects your ability to recover for your future healthcare expenses. So even if you don't get better from your injuries, but you're able to work and you're able to do most of your activities of daily living and you're able to have and you're not disfigured in any way, you still may be on the hook for all your future healthcare expenses, even though you've been injured in the accident, but you got better, but now you just need a little for maintenance. You may not even have the ability to recover your damages for your future healthcare expenses as well. So that's another crazy fact that exists only in Ontario based on our legislative scheme that exists